Here at Linus Tech Tips, we know we are occasionally a little late to the party. For example, uploading videos about a new Apple product days after the initial coverage wave has come and gone. You know, it is what it is. We try. Whatever. Get off my back! But not today. No. What I'm showing you guys today is not stale at all. In fact, I don't think I'd even describe it as ripe yet. I mean, look, it doesn't even have room in the box for the power adapter. It's just separate. This is the first look at the full 4K 120 kit. But what's that? And where did it come from? Browse privately and securely with TunnelBear, the simple VPN app. Start your 7-day free trial at the link in the video description. Okay, so first things first, I gotta say I'm a little unnerved by this box because there is no friggin' way that a monitor and a stand for a monitor are fitting in here. And like, look at this. We got like a handwritten note here. Take care, made by hand. And then we've got the name of the guy, Z's, who made it. So this is Z's from Z's Works. Oh boy. Wow, what the heck? This thing is just like a completely naked panel and oh my gosh. There's just like exposed PCBs on the back. There's no stand, no plastic housing. To its credit, it does have a vase mount here, but no way. There's only three mounting points here. There we go. I got it. And this is, I think I found the nut. Okay, so we've got it mounted now. We just used this random monitor arm that we found. And look at this weird stuff we got going on here. So this right here is a JTAG programmer for updating the firmware of and debugging the main chip. And this, like, taped on doodad here is actually a USB to serial adapter for debugging everything else. The monitor comes with a heap of technical documentation to help you do all of these things, and you can even reprogram the LED backlight driver if that tickles your pickle. Okay, so it's probably clear to most of you by now that the reason this thing is here in our shop is clearly nothing to do with how polished and finished it is as a product. It's because it's the first monitor to reach our lab that runs at 3840 by 2160 4K at 120 hertz. That's right, you gamers can have your cake and eat it too with high resolution and high refresh rate. But how did a small fish like Aziz pull this off before the big dogs like Asus and Acer, who showed off their high refresh rate displays at CES this year? A quick implementation of the DisplayPort 1.4 standard? And that is a negatory, General. Because check this out. We've actually got two DisplayPort inputs here. One right there and one right there. So I guess let's start by firing it up with just one connected. There. Okay, so check this out. There's no normal on-screen display, but it does have these completely unlabeled buttons up here that, hold on a minute. Is this thing completely held on by one screw at the top? Ugh. Okay, so as I was saying, it has these unlabeled buttons that helpfully come with this handwritten user guide to tell me what they're for. So there's power. Sorry, no, power is labeled. So why don't we start with that one? We'll Press it. Wow, that turns on really quickly. Okay, so the next two are for adjusting brightness. Okay, so technically there's a label there. There's a plus and a minus. So yeah, we're doing pretty well here. And then there's other ones for switching between a bunch of different EDID profiles for reported resolution and refresh rate, starting with 540p at 480 hertz. And wow, this looks pretty crap. I mean, it has like an interlaced look to it, and quite honestly, like in motion, even the TN pixels can't switch fast enough to avoid having like a purple trail behind black objects. But boy, does that ever feel butter smooth. Wow. Then the next switch is 720p at up to 300 hertz, which is still really darn smooth, and is, at least I can tell if it's a CT or a terrorist at this resolution compared to 540p. The next one is 1080p at up to 240 hertz, and I can see how this feature would be useful when you look at how quickly it switches modes. If you're the kind of person who often finds yourself dialing back the resolution to get more FPS out of games like CSGO, and then wants to turn up the resolution for sightseeing games like Civilization 6 or Skyrim, I mean, these buttons really do make switching super easy. Or maybe it's dumb. Let us know in the comments if you think you would actually use these or not. So, okay, here we are. 1080p, 240 hertz, pretty sick. But it's not the native resolution, so you're dealing with interpolation, and there are already monitors that are actually designed to run at that resolution and that refresh rate. So then, let's get finally to good old-fashioned 4K 60 hertz, and then, bwah. Okay, so we were expecting 4K 120 hertz here, but we got a visual demonstration of the limits of DisplayPort 1.2. It just can't push that much data. So instead, it has to compromise. Let's plug in a second DisplayPort cable. Well, that didn't happen in any of our testing before we go to film. You can see the right side of the screen is a little bit wonko, but we have still had, for the first time, the experience of 120 hertz gaming at 4K resolution. And given that we've got this game running at about 150 to 200 FPS, it is definitely a thing to behold. Now, is this the optimal situation with the whole thing going on with the flickering on the right-hand side of the screen and all that? Obviously not. But I guess we all learned a valuable lesson about shipping display controllers that literally have unstable penned onto the back of them. So in summary then, aside from this glitchiness right when we go to film, this works. But how do you buy one? The answer is you don't, yet. And you may never be looking at a traditional finished monitor from ZisWorks. Their special sauce is in the development that they're doing on custom electronics. And the concept that they want to crowdfund is the idea of DIY enthusiasts being able to buy their module and slap it onto an existing panel, whether through a bundle from ZisWorks or off eBay or whatever. There will always be drawbacks to an approach like this. The calibration and display tuning that goes on with a finished product was clearly not present on our Innolux M280DJJ-L30, and you won't get fancy features like G-Sync anytime soon. But ZisWorks has tested other options like a 39-inch MVA panel, and they say it works pretty similarly. And they're also expecting costs for DIY monitor solutions like this to be hundreds of dollars cheaper than 120 hertz 4K gaming monitors from traditional companies. So yay or nay? DIY mix and match monitors and electronics. Whatever you guys say down in the comments below, I know I'll be watching this concept really closely. Have you ever thought to yourself, if only there was some easy, affordable way to make my own website? Well, you're in luck, because Squarespace is just that. You pick one of their gorgeous templates, and whether you coach the local softball team, or you run a restaurant, or you wanna promote your artistic portfolio, whatever it is you wanna do. You just pick a template, you populate it with all the pictures and text you want, and boom, you've got a website that looks great on any device with responsive design and a ton of other great features. It starts at just $12 a month and you get a free domain if you buy Squarespace for the year. And if you just want a super simple site, you can use their cover pages feature that lets you set up a beautiful one-page online presence in just minutes. So why wait? Why not sign up for Squarespace today? Start a trial with no credit card required, and when you decide to sign up for Squarespace permanently, head over to squarespace.com/LTT and use offer code LTT to get 10% off. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked this video, you can hit that button, but if you liked it, hit the like button, get subscribed, maybe consider checking out the products we featured at the link in the video description. Also down there, we've got our community forum, which you should totally join, as well as our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one.